Welcome to the Renegade Health Boss podcast, where we push the boundaries of what's possible in health and wellness. I'm your host, Heather Gray, a certified functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner and certified bioenergetic practitioner. And each week we dive deep into the world of physical, mental, spiritual health, biohacking, relationships. But we're not just talking about the basics. I'm bringing you conversations with the true renegades, experts who are challenging the status quo in their fields, breaking barriers, and uncovering the real truth behind what it takes to live an incredible, joy-filled, and optimized life. If you're ready to step out of the ordinary and step into a life of extraordinary health and happiness, you're in the right place. Let's get started on this journey to becoming your own Renegade Health Boss. And before we jump in, let's hear a word from our sponsor. You're already empowering your patients to lead a healthier, more vibrant lives. As a practitioner, you're at the forefront of extending their health span, promoting strength, vitality, and overall wellness. It all begins with the right support, trusted high-quality nutritional supplements. At MHP Vitamins, we provide premium, practitioner-grade supplements designed to support the unique needs of your patients. Whether they're fighting inflammation, boosting energy, or enhancing immune function, our scientifically backed formulas help them thrive. As a trusted practitioner, your recommendations make a significant impact. At MHP Vitamins, we're committed to providing you with the tools to continue supporting your patients on their journey towards ideal health. The premium supplements are carefully formulated to target specific health concerns and deliver the essential nutrients your patients need to thrive. Dedicated to making sure your practice runs effortlessly by offering top-tier customer care, same-day shipping, and the efficacy of our new office and warehouse. Through our affiliate program, you can extend these benefits directly to your patients and provide them with trusted, high-quality products while providing a valuable partnership that supports both you and your patient's health span and your practice. Join the growing community of health professionals who trust MHP Vitamins to empower their patients' health journeys. Together, we can support wellness, one patient at a time. Woo, welcome Ryan today to the show. Yay!
Hey, Heather.
How's it going?
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. For those of you who are listening, who are not watching, you will notice the beautiful sound of a ukulele throughout the background of this as he is standing there playing today. When I met him at Lyme Bites Health Conference last year, he was walking around the conference playing his ukulele. So yeah, he's always that's part of his thing. Tell us a little bit about that. Why?
Well, like with me, I just bring a stupid amount of intelligence to everything I do. So I've got a long laundry list of why. But one, it's just one, music is a part of our nature. I'm really big into, we all understand how sounds can affect us emotionally. I actually dig into the science of sounds and hormones and things like that. So on one hand, it's just beautiful to have around and be able to change my own emotions live on the spot. If I want to have something if I want to change the rhythm and right, if I want to rock out a little bit, if I want something soothing, if I want this. The other part of it is what people don't understand is even when I'm just holding it, you can feel the vibration coming through the room into the wood. And so I'm actually doing a lot of my work is all around developing superhuman abilities, sensory capabilities. And so I'm actually doing some fine work where I'm feeling with my mechanoreceptors of my hand, training it to feel and sense the literal vibe in the room. Can I feel that person laugh across the way? Can I feel and can I sense this? That's car that's driving by me. What frequency is that in? Oh, that's this one. Right. So it allows me just to interplay and collaborate with nature and humanity on a regular basis.
That's incredible. I just thought you were an incredible player and you like to walk around, serenading all the beautiful people.
No, it's really for me. I'm just being selfish. Y'all just happen to be around me.
That's awesome. That's awesome. When I lived on Kauai for a little while, I missed that. Like people literally are just walking around playing their ukulele on the beach, like in the grocery store. Like it's always that beautiful sound with the waves. It's just, there's nothing better.
It does feel good. And it is also a great tool for music, right? I write a lot of songs. I mean, I never know when inspiration is going to strike. And if I don't have it with me, that's why I love a uke. I can just throw it in the back of the car, I can walk around shopping with it. I can't walk around with a big guitar. I can't walk around with my bass. I can't walk around with my didgeridoos here in the corner. I can't do that as easily as I can just carry this little guy around.
That's awesome. So Ryan, let's dig a little deeper. Who is Ryan today, and why are you in the health space? Why are we, why do you have saunas? Like, what's that all about? Tell us a little bit about how you got started in all this.
Yeah, well, just to be clear from the beginning, what we're talking about, it is a sauna. That's how they typically bill it. But in my research with them, it is so much more than a sauna. There's things you can do with it that you can't do with other saunas. So I'm not just saying it's more powerful. You can do things with this. And that's actually what got me involved in it, is for a long time, I've been in the healing game for a long time, mainly as a way of helping myself just deal with a lot of health issues. Even growing up, I was lucky to have a mom who was into energy healing. So she kind of raised me how to feel and sense bioenergetic fields. When I was 19, back in 1997, I know I'm showing my age there, but in 1997, I got certified as a Reiki energy healer. That she helped, and it was tremendously expensive back then. This was long before the internet popularized it, and you really had to hunt down somebody who could teach you and spend a lot of money. So thank you, Mama Girl, for doing that for me.
That's awesome.
But then I spent quite a few years actually in and out of homelessness, dealing with what would later be diagnosed as a number of different autoimmune diseases, including Sutton's disease type 2, which causes aphthous mouth ulcers. I also have connective tissue issues. I've got 6 hernias, 1,000 dislocations, bone grafts put in. People meet me, they have no idea that I've been basically putting myself back together since I've been falling apart since I was a kid. And so that was a big part of the healing journey, is just getting out of homelessness in itself. I discovered some interesting thought experiments that were born out of James Allen, who wrote the book As a Man Thinketh back in 1901. And my mom gave me that book, but she said something important. She said, Ryan, it's not as a man thinketh, so he becomes. It's as you think. This is you. This is not an abstract concept, not something out you. As you think, you become. And so I started with some psychological experiments on how I saw myself and my reality. And that's when I took on the name Ryan today, because I realized maybe the reason why I'm okay, long story short, maybe the reason why I'm okay with slow suicide, the reason why I'm okay just staying here, not having a better life, is because I don't think I can get anything better. But maybe if that's the case, then I'm applying Boolean logic now, systems thinking, which I became a coach for and an expert in, is if that's the case, then what is Ryan today willing to do to give Ryan tomorrow a different viewpoint? Because I don't want anything better, because Ryan yesterday, he smoked this, he drank that, he chose this, he chose that, he did this. And that landed me on this shore of my perspective of the world. And yeah, from this perspective, it sucks. Why would I want to go on? But that was Ryan yesterday's choices. Ryan today, might not want a better life. I don't want to get sober. I don't want a life and responsibility. I don't want those things. But Ryan tomorrow might. And he will never even have the choice to choose if Ryan today doesn't do something different. So what am I willing to do? Even no matter how small of a sacrifice, what is my present self willing to sacrifice to give my future Ryan tomorrow, when he becomes Ryan today? Completely different way of seeing the world, and therefore having choices that Ryan yesterday could have never had, such as showing up on Heather Gray's podcast and meeting with the Lyme boss.
I love it. Like, I thought there's 2 different times I was like, mic drop, mic drop. Yes, absolutely beautiful. We're talking the same language. And that's why, part of the reason why I jumped into your company so quick is because meeting with you guys and knowing and just feeling that energetic vibe right off the bat, I knew, family, right? Brother. So thank you.
And to kind of wrap that up, that was back in the 90s, late 90s, going into 2000s. I then got a position with the University of Phoenix Online, when it was just a small little thing. There's just 200 of us in 2 small buildings in a cul-de-sac in Phoenix. But using my voice, I found that I could take the same systems thinking principles that I developed to get me out of homelessness and use that as a coaching modality to help others looking for adult education. And so I had earned a letter of recommendation from Todd Nelson, the CEO of all of Apollo Group, for my contribution to adult experiential learning. But, I thought we were on a mission to change the way adults experience and learn. Turns out we were a for-profit company, and that was a part of it, but really it was a for-profit company. And we grew from a couple hundred small people in the small mom and pop into a 13,000 employees, huge conglomerate that really just kind of took some of those founding principles, in my opinion, just kind of faded away after John and Todd left the scene. And so that is what got me into marketing and sales psychology, applying systems thinking to behavior. So people are wildly irrational. So I basically started life coaching back in 2001 as University of Phoenix. I kept doing that, got into marketing automation and sales psychology for a little while, but I've been my own boss full time since 2010. Just celebrated my 14th anniversary of being in the healing arts full time and helping people. Have a beautiful family with 3 kids, and so life really can get dramatically better. And even today, Ryan today is still making small sacrifices, because I have no idea what potential Ryan tomorrow might have when I become him. So that's why we're here meeting, because I've been researching this relax energy and what they've been doing with it. And yeah, it's really fascinating tech. If I'm successful in my mission, I will earn a Nobel Prize for the scientists who developed the semiconductor chip that powers their technology.
Shut up. Oh my God. All right. Well, before we dive into that, we're going to take a really quick break. And when we come back, we're going to dive deeper into the science and why this is different than other things on the market. And I just love mine so much. I use it 5 times a week, and I always get so much inspiration in it. It's hilarious. So I'm doing videos, no makeup, sweaty, gym clothes, but for some reason I'm inspired when I'm in there. So, I let the inspiration take me. But yeah, so don't go anywhere, everybody. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Dr. Nathan Bryan here with our N101 nitric oxide orally disintegrating tablet. Nitric oxide is a gas, so how do we deliver a bioactive gas in a solid dose form? We've created a solid dose form of bioactive gas. This lozenge, which is designed to have a resident time of 5 to 6 minutes. So you take this lozenge, you put it in your mouth, don't chew it, don't swallow it. Let it dissolve. As it's dissolving, it's releasing a certain amount of nitric oxide over a certain period of time. And that release of nitric oxide is designed to recapitulate nitric oxide production and nitric oxide signaling. So if your body can't make nitric oxide for whatever reason, this product delivers it for you. But more importantly, the technology in this lozenge recouples the NOS enzyme, so we improve endothelial function. We improve the body's ability to make nitric oxide on its own. And because it's an orally disintegrating tablet that sits on the top of the tongue and moves around, it's killing the bad bacteria. It's maintaining the diversity of the oral microbiome. We're improving the nitrate-reducing bacteria, so we're improving the oral microbiome. So this product generates nitric oxide and improves the body's ability to make nitric oxide through both pathways, endothelial nitric oxide production through restoration of the oral microbiome. There's no other product on the market that does what this product does. This is an orally disintegrating tablet that releases nitric oxide. We can quantify it, we can detect it, we can verify it. So if your body can't make nitric oxide, we do it for you. N101 activating lozenges. Get it today.
Is there a way to naturally boost your energy and immune system to help you power through your day? Need to shave off extra pounds while eliminating toxic sludge from your body? Want a glow that makeup can't provide? Millions of women trust the world-famous ISO Detox Tea and other proven products from Total Life Changes. Our products are 100% natural and proven safe, even for children. Try our best-selling NutriBurst liquid vitamins, the Chewy and NRG to sustain feel-good energy all day. For coffee lovers, we have the deliciously smooth Delgada coffee, guaranteed to brighten your morning while enhancing your overall wellness.
I've lost weight. My ADHD symptoms have gotten way better. My bowels are moving better than they ever have, and my energy and focus are amazing. Go to the show notes to see how you can either just use the products yourself as a customer, or if you want to add an extra income stream to your life, selling these amazing life-changing products. Either way, it's up to you. You have a choice. You don't have to go into the business. You can just try the products and use them for yourself. Either way, go to the show notes to learn more. Awesome. Welcome back. So yes, tell me a little bit more about this Nobel Prize for the technology behind this.
Yeah, so a big part of my work as a coach has always been, for a long time I was known as a neuroplasticity coach, or bioplasticity as I've been popularizing the term, because it's not just neurons and brains that change. everything changes. Our relationship to hormones, our relationship to food, to light. I mean, everything. Our cell turnover rate changes as we age. So much changes. So it's all about becoming an active participant in that change instead of just changing due to default and circumstance. How do we become aware of the changes, even on subtle, slight, nuanced ways, so we can, I don't know, participate, become the hand of the master?
Can I get an
ourselves?
amen?
Right. It's a little thing like that. You know, it's just free agency, no big deal. You know, and so I've been a fan. I haven't really been that big of a fan of external tools. A lot of my work is focused on the sensation of working with tools, working with things, because science is always evolving. There's always going to be new tech around the corner, but the most powerful tech is us, our ability to sense and perceive. And so I hope we have time to get into this, because I feel honestly that humanity is dealing with a very real sense of sensory atrophy. We can't even appreciate just how beautiful the world is because we are so dysregulated and we've got so much garbage body. So I haven't necessarily been a big advocate for tools as much as I love tools, but more of an advocate for understanding the tool that is you. And when you take this supplement, when you use this device, when you do this thing, when you do this stretch, what are the effects? What's taking place inside you? Becoming a student of our own body and the reactions to different methodologies. What makes this so different, this Relax Sauna here, for those of you who can see the video, this is what the sauna looks like itself. Yes, it's here in my living room. This is our no sweat tent. We have 2 tents in the house. We have one to sweat in, and this one is purely just for short intervals. So you can see these little grids right there. Those are actual semiconductor chips. So every other infrared generator in the market is all based off of heating elements, ceramics, minerals, amethyst, light bulbs, things like that, that anybody can go make and build their own. Like I used to help make sauna. I used to help, friends make saunas and things like that. So it's something that anybody can do, go make on their own. But who can go make a semiconductor chip? I can't go exactly cook up a semiconductor chip with a trip to Home Depot and some parts ordered online. But why a semiconductor chip? And why this technology? Why am I recommending this as a tool? Because it turns out, Heather, the more that I'm researching this, the more is coming out how the biggest thing is that it's giving us our own energy. So if we look at the infrared spectrum, this is what people don't understand. So when we're looking at light therapy versus infrared therapy, infrared simply means it's beyond the length of the wave of that light is so long that we can't see it anymore, but you can feel it as heat. Visible light doesn't heat the cells. Visible light interacts with the chromatic receptors in our body and in our skin and our eyes, but it doesn't heat. Infrared heats. You don't see it, but you sure can feel it. Once we get out of the near infrared spectrum, close to light, we get into mid, and then we get into far. And after far, it's called terahertz, and then there's microwave. So continue that electromagnetic spectrum. Now, what's so magical is that if somebody were to go look on Wikipedia, for example, and they were to pull up far infrared, and that's how Relax Saunas markets their product, is as a far infrared sauna. But it's more special than that. If you go to Wikipedia and you just look up far infrared, you'll see that there's a graph there that shows right in the specific wavelengths between 6,000 and 14,000 nanometers, or 6 and 14 microns in wavelength, is what's known as the resonant frequency. Because that's our resonant frequency, Heather. That's us. That's the wavelength of infrared light that we all emit. It's scientifically proven we are light beings. We are all emitting body heat. That body heat is infrared light, and it's specifically in this band that is our natural resonant frequency. And that's why there's no warm-up time. What other sauna in the world doesn't have a warm-up time, Heather? None of them do. But when I first met Phil, it bugged me to no ends that he couldn't tell me why there's no warm-up time. His answer was it's more powerful. I'm like, I'm sorry, I just can't accept that as an answer. Because if it was just a matter of adding more power, we would add more power to the panels, into the diodes, into the things that we're using. So it's not just power, Phil. Pay me some money and I'll go find out why there's no warm-up time, because I'm willing to bet other people are bugged by not being able to have an answer that's more scientific in nature. So he did. It was the start of our relationship. Of course, I bought one too. But I found out the reason why there's no warm-up time is because by excluding all of the infrared spectrum, basically excluding all of your friend group that isn't in your same vibe, we can up the dosage of how much energy can the body receive without burning the skin, without creating what's called overexposure, where there's just too much energy. We can take more of our own natural vibe, our own friend group, than we can take other friend groups. We can only take other people that are outside of our vibe. So just as it's true on a social level, it's true on a cellular energetic level, that it's when it's our own energy, we can receive more. So that's how they're able to deliver so much power to us, because they can. And it turns out I can talk all day long about the health benefits, especially when it comes to Lyme, but it really just does one simple thing. And that is, it resonates us in our own natural resonant frequency. It goes deep into the body, resonates us, and that movement, that activation is us. It's our own energy. So if I'm gonna advocate powerfully any tool in the world, I'm gonna advocate the tool that gives us more us. Because now, as the science is showing, validating, turns out if you give the body more of its own natural energy, the body will do more of what it naturally does. And that's why there's over 800 testimonials in 20 different health conditions. And yes, it does this, and it's good for that, and it's good for this, and it's good for that. Why? Because it does one thing. It gets more of us into us, more of our own natural energy into our cells. So on a molecular, chemical, cellular, organal, systemic level, everything just starts vibing, moving, grooving.
That's incredible, because I mean, I do the mold in the Lyme community that I work with. One, I think every mold and Lyme person should have one of these. Most of them have, issues in their detox pathways. They don't detox properly to begin with. Like myself, and I didn't start seeing really amazing results in my own health journey until I started to sweat. And my body actually had to be taught how to do that. I had to start slow and slow. There was a definite mindfulness about it. It wasn't just, get in a sauna. So many people are like, I just get in a sauna and I don't sweat, or I get in a sauna and I feel like crap, help. What do I do? There's a nuance to it. And, I had been researching the portables for years before I landed on you guys when I met you in Lyme Bites. But it was funny because when I knew, I was like, this is it. And then I was like practically begging him to let me take it home, that night, because I was just like, oh, yeah, this is what I want.
It feels so good. And that's one of the things that you mentioned. It's like, some people say it's like, oh, I don't like saunas. I'm so exhausted afterwards. It just drains me. And the reason why that is because, again, your body's having to process a tremendous amount of energy that's outside of its natural vibe. So that's the thing, is inside here, you don't get that as much. The only time that I'll get exhausted in this is when I'm being silly, and I will do, hour and a half long session, get out, do a cold plunge, get back in, and it's a all day long kind of ceremony. So yeah, you better believe after an hour and a half of being in there, zipped up and zipped down to varying degrees to regulate myself. Yeah, that's a workout. That is an exercise. And that's actually one of the key benefits of this, is that it is an exercise for the organs.
I've never thought to do it like that before. Now I'm like,
It's a full-blown exercise. And so, as you mentioned, it's like, your body kind of adapts to it. Your body will adapt to anything. That's the basis of all my work in bioplasticity and neuroplasticity, is becoming aware of the adaptation processes and working with them. But again, when it's your own energy, the adaptation process with a little bit of mindfulness is much stronger, because that's my hypothesis that the company is researching my science on, is that I believe that this is the first device in the world that actually mimics a natural fever state in the body. And fevers have been known for millennia to be absolute powerful therapies. Can they be dangerous? Sure, at a certain temperature, at a certain level. But when your body has its own fever, you can go up. Some people doing hyperthermia for autism, cancer, and even Lyme, right? They're doing actual full-blown fever therapy in clinics for Lyme disease to burn up that Lyme parasite, sweat the spirochetes, sweat the dead parasites out of your body to help prevent post-Lyme. They're already doing this in a clinical setting. So we know that fevers have this power, but as you mentioned, fevers are a skill set. So I've gone to a lot of these cancer conferences, aside from Lyme and other issues. I go to a lot of cancer conferences. So I deal a lot with oncologists who are doing hyperthermia. This is the only sauna, by the way, that they actually do use for hyperthermia. It's the only one that actually raises the core. Other saunas, because they're using full spectrum infrared, again, they're not delivering as much energy, and they're also not delivering as much of the energy that's just naturally you. So they'll get your skin and muscles hot, and that's great. Look, get your hands on a sauna. Get your hands on any sauna you can. I've never met a bad sauna.
Amen.
Just get your hands on whatever you can. But again, just know the difference is that they will get your skin and your muscles hot, but they don't raise your core. And why does that core raise matters? Because that's the fever state. That's what tells the entire body, hey, let's start moving. Let's start collaborating. The cardiovascular starts working with the lymphatic, starts working with this, starts working with that. And that's why, for example, you can go extremely high when you have a fever. But if you go outside in the sun or you exercise, you can get a heat stroke with just a few temperature degree raise.
Right.
So when your body's reacting to thermal stress, like in a traditional sauna or other infrared saunas, when it's reacting to that heat stress, it's a different biological process when your body is actually going into a fever state. And you can prove it in the quality of sweat. Now, Heather, I don't know if you want to get this gross or not, but
do it.
All right. So check this out. Go exercise, collect your sweat, look at it in a cup, hold up a light to it, look at the particulate count, look at what's in there, look at the color, note some things about it, take some pictures. Go sit in the Relax Sauna, collect your sweat, and look at it. You'll notice it's a different kind of sweat. That was the first thing I noticed in my first session with him, because I'd been doing this for years. I'd always been being a student of my own body. I just want to see what's coming out of me when I exercise or I'm in this sauna, what's coming
Coffee
out.
enemas, like whatever. What's coming out of me?
What's coming out of me? Exactly. And so when my first sweat session in this, after I bought one, I collected the sweat. I looked at it, I'm like, oh, that's not sauna sweat. That's not exercise sweat. That's fever sweat. I know what fever sweat looks like. And so that's my hypothesis, because of their special, unique wavelength that they have multinational patents on producing. Because of that wavelength, you can receive much higher dosage of the energy. This light also, instead of only going millimeters into the skin, it goes inches. We're talking 2 to 4 inches into the body, and wrapped everywhere all at once. So you're not just getting the treatment here on your arms or here on the sides and at the bottom of your feet. You're literally getting it everywhere, so deep, all at once. And that's what's causing that fever response. And that's also why I'm interested in doing more Lyme studies, because Lyme, for example, has been proven. Anybody can go research Lyme and infrared. Lyme does not like heat. They do not like being warm. So a lot of therapies are focused on warmth and light and such, but a lot of them are also targeted. Where are the Lyme parasites hiding in your body? So they'll target them. But Lyme parasites can also run. That's why infrared saunas can be good. But again, they're only going skin deep. All that Lyme parasite has to do is burrow down a millimeter or two, and it can escape the heat and survive. But when that light from this Relax Sauna is going inches deep, everywhere all at once, thanks to the silver reflective tint. For those of you who don't know, the inside of this is silver, or in the silver edition, the outside is silver. That silver is actual silver zirconium. It's metal. It's actual silver zirconium mix that's coated onto there to make it a little mirror box. So you're getting that everywhere. So the Lyme doesn't have anywhere to run and hide. It can't burrow in. It can't travel around the side of your arm to hide from that energy. It's everywhere all at once.
Funny, quick question. So if you wear clothes in there to kind of help, with the cleanup, right? Does that mitigate some of the wavelengths? Do the wavelengths go through the clothes, or is it best to be naked?
Yeah, so two different effects. I'm glad that you bring this up, because there's 2 different ways to use this energy. One is with your clothes on for those short interval sessions. In 5 to 10 minutes before you even begin to sweat, I've now proven in a pilot with a charter school, their elementary and junior high, they lowered the blood pressure of their teachers, reduced stress, and increased mood by simply having these available in the teacher's lobby. No sweating. So blood pressure is increased. There's a slight oxygenation of the tissues. It's a slight cardiovascular boost. It generates some slight heat shock proteins. So there's a gentle detox effect even without the sweat. But also, we usually at events, you don't get to see this because, we met at one event, but at the events that they have me go speak at, you'll see people coming in on the regular, 5 to 7 minutes before sweat kicks in, we usually see 50 to 100% reduction in pain. And we have a companion product to this little small lamp there that has 20 semiconductor chips. If you can see that on our site, it actually is a class 2 medical device for inflammation, pain, and wound treatment, and has been since 2006. So this is long proven technology. And those semiconductor chips in that lamp are the same ones inside the sauna. There's basically two, because that medical lamp has 20 semiconductor chips. The sauna has 40, 20 on each side. So that's one therapeutic modality. It's 5 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes. If you start to get hot in that therapy, we want you cozy and warm. We don't want you hot and sweaty. So when you start to get a little too hot, but you still want some of the pain relief, you literally just unzip the zipper so it lets all that heat escape, but you're still getting the infrared therapy. Sometimes I'm sitting there and I'm working for an hour or more inside that tent with it running without sweating or anything. I'm sitting in there for an hour with my clothes on. Now, if you take your clothes off, you will sweat faster. So to help with cleanup, what I recommend is fold up a towel, put it on the seat, put a towel over the back, and then put a towel at your feet. Or if you're putting your feet up on the generators, I put hand towels. I'll put a little hand towel on top of the generator. And that collects the vast majority of sweat, almost all of it. Unless I'm doing like a deep purge, then it's going to collect most of it. When you get out, you just wipe it down and then turn the generator on for 15, 20 minutes or so, because that infrared light is naturally antibacterial. It's antipathogenic. It's antifungal. That light is all of that. And so now that experience, if you're going in to sweat, you'll be sweating in 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. The difference between 20 to 30 minutes is that's when it starts becoming more of an exercise. So start learning how to stay in longer, right? So the experience for people, just so you know, so 1 to 5 minutes, super soothing, relaxing. 5 to 10, okay, I got some deep relief, but I'm starting to get hot. 10 to 15, whoo, I'm sweating. 15 to 20, definitely a sauna session. 20 to 30, what is going on here? I need to get out of this thing. It moves from super soothing into an actual felt exercise. Your organs are pumping. You can feel your body exercising on the inside. It is a full-blown exercise mimetic.
Well, I'm going to have to try it with no clothes on, because this whole time I typically do it with clothes on, just because I felt like it was giving me a better sweat, and then it was better with cleanup. But then you were talking about the wavelengths, and I was like, gosh, I wonder if the wavelengths are going through the clothes, or if I'm missing a certain. They are.
They are, though. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, is that's why it can be so therapeutic even with your clothes on.
Oh, okay.
So for example, turtles, they bury their eggs 2 inches under the sand. This is the wavelength of light that goes deep enough through the sand to vibrate the water, innervate the cells, the mitochondria, and make a little baby turtle possible. It's the same function. For those of you, to help kind of put an analogy to it to understand, we all have had that experience of hearing the bass from someone's car a mile away coming through the walls. We can hear our neighbors, bass pumping. But if you stand outside that same car, you can't understand the lyrics right outside there, because those faster wavelengths get absorbed in that first little bit. Those longer wavelengths don't interact as much with as much matter, so they don't get absorbed. That's right away. These longer wavelengths of this style of infrared that's why they go so much deeper into the body, and then furthermore cause more heat, because it's our own resonant frequency. So that energy gets our cells moving. And I would like to say this too, because about the cleanup component of it. So just to confirm, yes, you can use it with your clothes on, highly therapeutic. You'll get a more intense experience with your clothes off. But think of the implications of what this means. The fact that you can turn this thing on afterwards and it's naturally sanitizing. This is what I've been sitting with deeply. And I got a mentor who, I've got some math coming out, some real science coming out, that my mentor, this guy is one of the world's leading experts in far infrared and human animal physiology. He's been doing some tests with some major universities looking at our generators. We've been collaborating on some stuff. And he's like, Ryan, your jaw is going to drop when I send you this math. And so I'm really excited about proving this. But here's my thought. What I've been sitting deeply with a lot lately in my meditative practice and everything is, Heather, what are the implications that the most healing energy in all of the electromagnetic spectrum, from UV therapy to red light therapy to infrared, near infrared, radionics therapy, Rife frequencies, and all of the frequency spectrums and all these different energies, the most proven healing therapeutic energy is us, our own energy. Even the biggest jerk walking around the world is a walking healing generator of loving light. What are the implications of the fact that our own natural energy is the most proven therapeutic energy in the world? We are all walking generators of this. And now we have a semiconductor chip that makes purely that. And this is stuff that if they wanted to change the market, they could go sell this product as a $20,000 to $30,000, $50,000 medical device. Because even the medical devices, there's over 100,000 studies showing the value of this light, of this specific type of frequency of infrared that this emits. But none of them are generating anywhere near the amount of energy. And further, none of them have a reflective tint design. They're all just looking at, for the most part, localized treatment or lower grade, where you're getting smaller doses of it. So there's nothing, even in the medical market, there's nothing like this. No. So the fact that we can pick it up for $1,500,
I was to say, and the price is ridiculous. Like I said, I have never been one that gets the science like you do. Obviously, I'm just not that cool. Intuitively, though, I know when I know, and I have, like I said, I started off with a higher dose sauna blanket, right? Because that's all I could afford at the time. And I needed that to heal. And it was a huge part of my healing journey. And I'm so grateful for it. Used it for 3 years while I was continuing to research. And then I met you guys. And like I said, I wasn't kidding. I was like, I have to have this. And can I please take it home? And he actually was, until I found out that I was on a red eye and I did not want to try to drag that thing through the airport at like 5 o'clock in the morning. So, but yeah, I love it. Absolutely love it. That's why, after using it for a couple months, I'm like, I got to get you on the show. Like, we need to talk a little deeper about this, because it's an incredible, I will never not own one, like ever, never, ever.
And further, the fact that you have these generators, keep in mind, because that light is so medical grade therapeutic, you can take those generators out and just aim them at your feet after a long day. Set them up on a nightstand. I'm working hard on a cabinet design where people can take their existing generators and slot them in, put legs on it, and have an end table. Put it on a nightstand. Put it here. So put it on the.
Why couldn't you just use that lamp? No,
you can use the lamp too, but the difference is that lamp has 4 semiconductor chips versus 40.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
So the lamp is fantastic, and we even have a discount on the sauna and lamp for your members here. But the lamp is fantastic for like getting it close to the skin. I'll supercharge my sauna session with it. I'll take it in, aim it at my solar plexus. I'll get it that close until my skin starts tingling. Then I'll start moving it around, aim it at my lymph nodes. If someone, for example, there's a lady who has Lyme in her jaw. Treating that is so hard, but you get this right up against that jaw, it's gonna be, that Lyme's gonna have a hard time hiding even there. So that's the value of this little guy, and it's only like what, 300 normally. And if they use your code for the next little bit, they'll get a 30 off.
Yeah, and that code is the Lyme Boss L for the lamp, and just the Lyme Boss for the sauna.
That's exactly right.
Yep. And yeah, you want to make sure that it's LYME, right? We're not making margaritas. It's not lime. So yeah, awesome. Mr. Ryan, thank you. This was incredible. Like I knew I was going to learn a lot here today, because like I said, there was just intuitively I got it, but I couldn't quite eloquently, speak on why this is so different. I just know that it is. So I so appreciate you sharing your heart, your talent with us, and your knowledge today. Thank you so much.
You're so very welcome. In case you can't tell, I do love to share. Look, the level of trauma, grief, and tragedy, pain, addiction that defined the first part of my life is now met with an equal tenacity of love, an irresistible peace that just can't be beat. And how could I not want others to not only to enjoy that themselves, come alive in themselves? And so yeah, your own energy is the most healing energy in the world, folks. Embrace your inner light, love your inner light, learn the skill of developing a fever, learn the skill of sweating, get your hands on any sauna you can. But obviously take advantage of any opportunity you can to try this as well, because it just feels so good.
Absolutely. Amen, brother. Thanks again. And everyone else, make sure to have a healthy day. Thank you. If you learned anything, even one little nugget in any episode, please do not keep us a secret. Like, share, subscribe, and leave a review on Apple, on Spotify. That is how we get this information out there and we change this paradigm one person at a time. I can't do it by myself. I need your help. Also, make sure to know that disclaimer, anything that you hear on this, you cannot hold Discovering Health LLC, Renegade Health Boss, the Lyme Boss, Heather Gray, liable for anything. Always consult your doctor before doing anything new. Do not take this as medical advice. This is your disclaimer. And then also, if you want to know the foundations of health, right? All that I talk about on how I get healthy, the absolute foundation: sleep, diet, exercise, what to eat, toxins, how to detox mold, all of it. You can get it in your own course at rhbcourses.com. Right? Start your healing journey today, as little as $79. Start today, rhbcourses.com. Stay tuned and thanks for joining us.